Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to a very long-awaited Polyglots Talk.
Absolutely.
Yes, welcome back, everybody. We're gonna wait for confirmation that they can see us and everything's okay, but it should be okay.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Yes. And we have a wonderful guest today that is now like a very, very beloved honorary member and partner of Gladly Global, our friend bront'e. Can we have an applause here? Here is bront'e's here are bront'e's links. We have two of them. One for YouTube. Oh, no. One for the website and one for Instagram. But bront'e also has YouTube, which I will have to add to the title of the stream, actually.
So I'm going to type so my name will show up in the chat.
Yes,
and then hopefully that link will be
Everybody follow bront'e. We're at the Polyglot Fox. Consistent language learning, safe. Should be on the title of the stream as well for everybody now. Welcome. We see you, we hear you. Yes, how's everybody doing today? Welcome in Makutan, welcome in Axel, welcome in Joanna, and everybody who is watching this recording after the live stream. Welcome in. Maku, thank you for the donation. Thank you very much. You're so cute. GG. Because it's Gladly Global, you get it.
Yep.
Thank you, Maku. Very much appreciated. Thank you. Yes. For the people who don't know us, we are a group of polyglots and language learners who just love supporting each other, and we want to promote the idea of learning languages connected with balance and mental health and mindfulness and not burnout in general.
A lot of the things that aren't really talked about.
Yes, exactly. Because we feel like the language learning world is sometimes filled with a lot of how to learn a language in 7 days, how to learn Japanese in 1 month and stuff like that. And a lot of pressure to be the best, the person that knows the most languages. And we don't vibe with all of that. We would like to promote a space that is supportive and where you can find actual friends who are not gonna make fun of you, which is something that happens, by the way. Here's the link to our Discord in chat, if anybody is not in our Discord yet, by the way. But I have seen, I have listened to people telling me that in different language servers or communities, sometimes they feel like they're being judged by the level or the kind of things they can talk about or not. And it sucks because it's not a race to the person that can speak better. And I feel like that's a lot of the classroom mentality, right? Oh, I got an A and you just gotta be a loser kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know? And we're kind of to overcome all of that, to get past all of that trauma of school and learn languages as a pleasure. Because we want to and we feel good doing it. Okay, that was a long introduction.
No, but I was there with you because I was just thinking about how getting into this space of language learning, we often feel like we have to prove ourselves to other people. It's like, oh, are you really learning the language? Well, say something, you know? And then the judgment of your accent and the judgment of the perfection of your sentence. And
oh yeah, a lot of gatekeeping as well on the word polyglot, which we're not gonna get into today, but I've been in Twitter threads where a lot of people are very not positive about inclusion. And yeah, we just want to create a space where all of that feels safe from all of that, and where you can be yourself with your own timing and your own, your own interests, and nobody's gonna judge you. Yes, oh my goodness, Mako. No, bront'e in the spam. Now we need to check the spam to see if bront'e wrote.
I know. I communicate often, a lot, a lot. So
my goodness, double check your spam for bront'e's emails, just in case. Mako says, I judge myself, so don't need to jump to other communities. Okay, we're gonna create a space where also you feel like judging yourself too harshly is not the way. So hopefully a place where people will encourage you, and so you over the time you will get over that trauma of having to be productive or the best all the time. And the best thing of all is that we go through it as well. We're not here to be like, oh, we figured it out, guys. We know how to
we're
do
perfect now.
We're also learning, and we created this because we needed it. So yeah, I hope everybody feels good in this space. So thank you, Joanna, who says the safest and most respectful place, which I sometimes forget because I hang out a lot in my servers where I keep this kind of vibe, and I forget a lot. Sometimes I get into different servers because I need to check out what other people are doing, like scouting, and I see some things that I'm like, what? How this? I would feel so bad, and So yeah, no, thank you very much, guys, for being amazing. Hello, Korea. Hello, our mod. Look at that beautiful emoji next to your name. Yep. Anyways, today we're talking about quarter 2, right, bront'e?
Yes, absolutely.
Quarter 2. What is quarter 2 in general?
It is the start of a new beginning for your language studies. So if you feel like you've been going off track, if you feel like, January, February, March, things did not go exactly as planned, this is an opportunity to say, okay, let's reset, let's refresh, and let's pretend this is like January 1st and figure out what we're gonna do from here.
Yeah, I feel so there's a lot of pressure at the beginning of the year to be like, oh, these are my goals for the year. This year I will do this.
Yes.
And then you get burnt out immediately because this is how it goes.
Yep.
And then in February you're like, oh my god, it's Lunar New Year, so now it can be my new beginning. And then you realize like, maybe I didn't like do the 100 things that I thought I would do already, and I need to kind of figure it out. And that's great because spring comes, and the spring equinox has been a couple of last week or something like that. I lost track of time. A couple of weeks ago, something like that. And the beginning of spring brings new life, and there's been Easter as well, and all of this vibe for like new things coming, new starts.
Yeah,
it can bring you this like wave of how to say, like motivation, hopefully. Right.
And it hopefully takes the pressure off, because you're like, I can start again. I can use what I've learned and do something different this time. Yes.
Oh, hell yeah. We encourage speaking 𝕙𝕤𝕤𝕤. Yes. That's very cute. 𝕙𝕤𝕤 is like the language of
yeah.
So before we like talk about what are the changes that we want to make for this quarter, how is everybody doing? Where are you at? Are you completely burnt out, or are you almost there? or everything's fine with you because you're amazing. You're amazing either way, but very, very amazing if you're doing exactly everything that you plan to do at the beginning of the year. How are things? We can start.
Because no matter where you are, it's okay, but we want to acknowledge it first.
Exactly. So we're gonna give time to everybody to write in the chat. Please let us know. And this is also for accountability, by the way. It's like group therapy. Group therapy for language learners. Hello, Kyber. We good. Yes. So we can start if you want. Bront'e, do you want to speak about where you at right now?
Absolutely. So my Q1, January, February, March, was kind of like what we talked about, which was January. I was like, yes, this is gonna be the year. I'm gonna get everything back on track. And then life was happening again, and I was like, okay, low stakes. Let's just do bare minimum. February was like, okay, let's just maintain. March was like, okay, anything you can do is better than zero. And so I am also personally taking this opportunity to like reset, refresh. And I started 2 new languages. So there's that, on top of everything else. But yeah, I think the biggest thing that I've been thinking about coming from March into April is just what I kind of say all the time, and I think I said it already, is like what worked and what didn't work. Because we don't want to keep doing the things that didn't work, or that we were forcing, or that was stressing us out and causing the procrastination and the burnout. We can either modify those things or get rid of them entirely. And so that's some of the things that I've been thinking about in my own language studies.
Yeah, I think so you bring out a very good point, which is, so sometimes we feel kind of like ashamed as well because some things don't work, right? Because we're like, oh, but other people do this, or like they gave me this advice, so why is it not working for me? What am I doing wrong? Am I too lazy? Am I not spending time efficiently enough? And I think this is also what Mark-chan is writing a little bit. I want to read it. I think today's topic is perfect because I was thinking about quitting accountability. We have accountability meetings every Sunday and also Tuesdays now. So if you want to join, take a look at our shop for membership. And Marco says, I think about quitting accountability since I'm no progress guy compared to others who really work on the language, and I just tap in immersive way. No pressure. Yeah. Please clarify the last sentence. I'm not sure what you mean about tap in immersive way, if it's something that you're thinking about doing for the future instead of accountability. Full of crap guy, because when I was challenged to speak in Japanese, I just prepped my sentences before enacted out like I can speak Japanese from head, so yeah, by vibe that I like is bad. Marco, okay, so we're gonna unpack this. We're gonna unpack this.
Yeah.
We're gonna unpack the fact that I also started speaking Japanese with sentences that I learned by heart in a way, like for role playing. So I don't feel like I don't feel like it's like cheating, Marco. I think this is the way.
No. I honestly, all of the things that we say out loud are practice sentences. We've practiced them. It's just like in our native language, we practice them enough that we don't have to think about the sentence and to go like, I'm pulling this one out before we say it. But they're all sentences that we've practiced and we've played around with and we've heard other people say and then we throw out there.
Yeah.
So you're getting the start and it just feels weird because it's a newer language and you're like, okay, introduction. How do I do my introduction? Perfect. Okay, now let me say it out loud. But that's how it goes, you know?
And I feel like in general, like having prepped sentences when you need to like speak about something is like the only thing about in your native language. You don't need to do it because you just mastered the language, so you don't need to like the moment you think about something, you know how to say it, of course.
Yeah.
But in a new language, there's a process also, like to match what you want to say with the grammar, the rules, the situation, everything of the new language. And that is not easy to do right away all the time. So I feel like at the beginning, like prepping, especially the vocabulary that you're gonna use or the grammar that you want to use, is just like such an incredible, like good tool to study as well, because you're actively using what you study, right? You don't only know the grammar to say that is that, but you're actively using that grammar, that vocabulary for a real life situation. And this is gonna be so useful, because next time you need to say the same thing, you're gonna be like, I got it, I already prepared it that time, already said it once, so now I'm okay, I'm not scared of saying it, you know?
Absolutely. And I can't tell you the number of times I've prepared sentences, especially as a polyglot, when you tell someone else, usually people who are not learning multiple languages, that you're learning multiple languages, and they're like, can you say something in the language? So I definitely have prepped sentences for that, because otherwise I'm standing there like, what do you want me to say? You know? So like my go-to French one is like, I want to go to the beach, I'm like, je vais aller à la plage. Just like, that's my sentence. And it just comes out.
And it's just ready for being used.
It is ready.
It is ready. And that's great, especially when you talk with people. You will realize that unless you're doing like you know, a speech for something, for a conference or whatever, more or less the things you talk about are gonna be kind of the same ones every time. Especially if you meet somebody new, they're gonna ask about your name, where you're from, and how old are you, maybe, where do you live,
why are you learning languages,
right, why are you learning Japanese, maybe, for you, right? And this kind of questions like are easy, you can prepare the answer very easily, so that you're like, and then if they give you something unexpected, you can learn, like you can prepare on how to answer if you don't understand, if you don't know how to answer. And that's gonna be like the best thing you can do. Of course, we cannot be able to answer every single thing, but being prepared is a normal thing to do. Of course, it's not like cheating. It is not. So I'm here.
Not at all.
I'm here to direct you to the fact that you stop being hard with yourself, Maku. What the heck? Okay. No, I'm particularly direct with Maku because I know he has like very low self-esteem because of like traumatic experiences with teachers in the past, which sucks. Guys, how can you call yourself a teacher and then being like traumatic for your students? And I know what it means to have trauma with the language, like that you cannot like speak it very well because it reminds you of something bad, right? So poor baby.
I've never had traumatic experiences with language teachers specifically, but the story I always tell, because I teach right now middle school, I taught 5th grade for years and then middle school. And I always tell my kids the story of my 5th grade teacher who, like, still to this day, I hear the comment he made about my handwriting. And I'm always self-conscious of my handwriting. So, like, if I have to write something down and give it to someone else, either I'm, like, taking my time or I'm just, like, you know, preemptively, like, sorry about my handwriting. Like, I'm sorry it's so sloppy, you know, just that feeling, because he literally said to me, like, your handwriting is horrible. And if you continue to write like this, like, you're not going to go anywhere. Like, you write like a doctor, like all these layers of things. I was like, bront'e was in 5th grade. And also, it's not that important. So I definitely understand how that can trickle into adulthood. Because like I said, it's a lot better now, but I still, every once in a while, I'm like, okay, let me take my time, because this is people, you know, outward facing. This is something I'm giving to someone else.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a long process also to get over or like recognize that you have like this kind of thoughts and like where they come from. It's not the truth most likely, so having to deal with the fact that reality is not what we feel all the time, so having to deal with these feelings and get more confident in what we can do, right? It's not easy, but it's a process as always. Yes.
See, we told you were coming to polyglot therapy.
Yeah, polyglot therapy. Yes, lovely. Yes, Maku. Now you will. Polish teacher was also a harsh my, only on me. So I started even my native language. Oh my goodness, we talk only in English. Maku, is it okay? No Polish anymore. My goodness, I didn't want to ignore Joanna-chan, by the way. So let's read what Joanna-chan is, how she's doing. Everybody, please feel free to write how you're doing. By the way, we're gonna read all the messages. Thank you very much. Joanna says, next question. I've been sick too often, but I'm going on with my language and bookish. How to edit, correct, prepare books for print studies. Ooh. That is so cute. I love it. Yes. Joanna was making some events of translation of the Little Prince, like writing.
Yes.
So I'm really invested, and I really loved like this kind of things. It's like about books. It's very exciting. So yes, and I told you yesterday already, Yoda, but I'm very sad that you keep getting sick, and I hope you're eating well and getting your vitamins maybe, and sleeping enough.
Yes,
Mimi, I know you're working hard, but there are like some priorities I have. How are you doing, by the way? Okay, I'm gonna talk about myself now, but you need to talk as well, curious. Excuse me. So I've had like a very terrible Easter, to be honest. Not because something bad happened, but it was so full of things that I lost all my energy. So I'm taking a break for different things. And I want to say this because priorities, right? So I've been like thinking with myself the past few months actually, but like it's an ongoing process about what are the things that are important to me, like priorities for my anything, for my growth as a person, but also for my well-being in the present, of course. And I realized that the first thing above all is physical health. And I am working very hard right now to like get to eat properly every day, enough and then good nutrition, and try to go to sleep at a decent time, like this kind of like basic things that you're like, shouldn't you like concentrate on your studies maybe? And I'm like, I cannot, like when I eat properly, when I sleep properly, of course everything else gets better, right? It's easier to concentrate on things. And so it's good to kind of like give the right time and space and thought to those like basic things. And I haven't like just realized it right now, but I realized how it is my priority. It's not just something that is like in the background there, but it's something that I want to actively focus on, because it's like, it's not like in the background, it's the base where things get built on, right? So that's basically and I was like thinking, I want to build a habit of like doing yoga daily, because I don't do enough exercise, etc. And I was like, I don't even, like, some days I don't eat enough meals in a day, or like I don't sleep enough hours. I cannot like start thinking about exercising if I don't have that like laid down, like consolidated in my routine. So we're going into my my goals for Q2 now, but that is like kind of like my priority at the moment. So giving getting that strong base and building on it while I do that, but giving the priority to that. And I think connecting to what Joanna-chan was saying, so make sure that you give enough time to your body's self-care for not getting sick, right? I need to eat a bit healthier. There you go. Go next to some workout. Yeah, make sure that you sleep enough as well, Sini baby. For love. And get all the nutrition. Maybe it can be like lack of vitamins sometimes. It could be lack of iron, lack of anything. So maybe also see a doctor. It's free in Italy, so you can see your doctor and ask, like, tell your symptoms and ask what you could do to feel better now. Yes, I'm being a mom now.
We get the whole experience here on this stream.
Right. Yes. Let me just read what Mako is writing. Also, feel free. Korea and Axo, I know you're here lurking. If you want to write how are things, feel free. From exciting language experiences, I translate something from English and Japanese to make a video about samurai houses in Sakura-chiba. Finally got back to the topic, so learning, having fun. I love that, Mako, and I'm very excited to see the result of your studies.
Same.
I would like to know, so feel free to share. Yes, my cat is letting me sleep lately. Let's go. Yeah, everybody I know with a cat are complaining that because of the time change, they are because of the summertime change, the cat has been waking them up super early or something.
Yep. Yeah. It's like, sorry, the clock has changed. Get with the clock, please.
Yes. The kitty doesn't know what clock is, unfortunately.
Nope.
They don't have concept of time. Only circadian rhythm.
Yep. They're like, this is time it normally happens.
Yes. One brain cell, yeah, that's true. Korea is being very funny because I said, tell me how are things? And he was like, how are things?
How are things?
Very funny. Ha 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 ha. Anyways, yes. So, we have some more time. Both me and bront'e need to work in 30 minutes, so we're not gonna stream too long. So we were thinking about maybe bront'e makes goals for quarters. I don't personally for like quarters specifically. So I wanted also bront'e to let us know if she had some tips or tricks or advice on how to make quarter goals.
Absolutely.
So please give you the stage. Let us know.
So I'm gonna preface this by saying I am obsessive with organization and planning. So I'm gonna try to keep it like to the core focus, but I also just want to give the full scope of what I do in case there are other people watching who are like, I am right there with you, bront'e, and I want to, do all of that planning. So I plan for the year, for the quarter, for the month, for the week, and sometimes for the day, but daily does not always work for me because sometimes I just forget. And so with the quarter, I usually set 3 milestones. I usually look at goals and milestones as the exact same thing because I just use them to direct where I'm going. And so I'm like, in the next 3 months, what do I want to be able to do? Not necessarily what do I want to achieve or, get to intermediate. But if you are someone who is like taking a language exam, that might be one of your milestones because you know that maybe in June, that's the date where the test is happening. If you're not a test taker, then it might be you have this one book on your shelf and you're like, this is very, very hard for me to read right now. But by the end of this quarter, I want to be able to at least start reading it confidently. Maybe not finish it, but start it. It can be like a movie. You're like, by the end of this quarter, I want to have watched this whole movie without having to look up translations or having the subtitles in my native language. And I think having a very specific thing tied to the milestone, like it makes it easier to see, did you do it or did you not do it? Like, yes or no. There's no nuance in it. It's just, did you get to that milestone or not? Are you able, or have you finished watching that movie or not? Did you understand it or not? And then everything that you do in the next 3 months is building on that. So it's, you know, if it's a movie or a drama, let's say, about like life in the office, then you know that you need to focus on life in the office vocabulary. And maybe more formal grammar, because that's generally what they use in the office. And then you can ignore everything else.
I like that.
And, yeah, because I know there are people like me and maybe Annie feel the same, where we want to do all the things right now. We're like, I want to do a little bit of this, a little bit of this, but then your energy or life is like, but you can't. You can't do those. And so
yeah,
that really helps me to
exactly. For context, exactly. So obviously doing this Polyglot Talk podcast is not our job, so we have our jobs, and I'm sure people in the chat as well have their jobs. Maybe you're a university student, which is also like a full-time job somehow, and or maybe you do like different things, but we don't have all that time to, like, we cannot be a full-time self-study student of languages, right? Nobody can. Or maybe big language influencers, I guess they can, probably, but still they need to make videos, etc. Anyways, I digress. That's to say, it's a very good idea to, like, take one thing and say, like, if I want to do more than that, I can. Like, if I have time or whatever, I'm free to do that. But my milestone is to do that one thing. And I have to tell you that also this reminded me, when I was in Tokyo, I was in a language school. One entire course for one, like, quarter was to study a drama series. So it was 10 episodes, 1 episode per lesson, and study the vocabulary, the expressions, the way, like, cultural things that did come out in the episodes. And so that is, like, something that happens in school, because if you feel like, oh, I'm cheating, I'm just, like, doing something for fun and calling it learning a language, yeah, like, that's like actually what some schools do as well. So it's a very important tool as well. But I'm a book lover, so it could be like, oh, I want to do half a book in this quarter, so maybe you plan how many chapters, how many pages you want to get done, and then you can split it into weekly routine goals or milestones, and that also work. I was talking to Bront'e about how I usually do monthly planning instead of quarter quarters, because for me I can wrap my head around it better. But a quarter is 3 months in the end, so you can just make a 3 months plan and it should work perfectly, right?
Yeah. And I think the reason why I like the quarterly plan is because, like, I still plan for the year, but it's very vague. It's very, like, lofty goals, and it's just more like casting a vision. Like, what do I want my language learning to look like this year? But the quarter is almost like my year. It's my beginning, middle, end. And so I treat it like my year, but it's only 3 months. It gives me the length of, like, time to get it done, but also within that I have, like you do with the month, that's short enough for me to focus on. Like, each month I'm focusing on a slightly different thing, so I also get that variety, because I need variety. Like, I can't do the same thing for a long period of time. I will get bored, and then I will not do the thing.
Yeah, and that's a month goes by very fast. I realized recently that it seems like it's a very long time, but a month goes by fast. So maybe having like that. And if you're a nature lover like I am a little bit, I feel like thinking about it as seasons could be also a nice idea. So we had the spring equinox very like 2 weeks ago, 10 days ago. And so now we're inside that spring feeling, right? Spring cleaning, let's call it, like the title, right? So maybe change, renewal. Maybe when it's summer, something else. It's very personal, to be honest. For me, summer is rest and vacation and, you know, nature, being in contact with nature, like this kind of things. So I feel like in spring, maybe I want to get things done, just so then in summer I can hold back a bit, or like keep my summer a little bit freer. But it could be different for other people, who knows, right? So yeah, I was like thinking about this, getting in tune with the change of temperature and weather could be a nice idea, right?
Yeah, make it a whole celebration and like a whole experience, instead of just like, I'm planning for my studies. Not that anything's wrong with that, but make it like a routine in your life, you know?
Oh yeah. Also, when it's summer, I love to like go to parks and study on the benches or something, maybe reading. So also think about different ways, different locations where you can get your studies done, or like maybe going out with friends, depends on where you are, etc. But it's everything changes, so it's good to like think about it in a different way. I'm doing like this course where they're telling us how to like so in general they're talking about our time, our things that we want to do as a cake. So instead of like dividing the cake, think about how you can make the cake bigger, which is basically get more things done, but with the same amount of time and energy and everything, in a way that for me is like, if I want to be in contact with nature, but I also want to study, then I can walk to the park and read there or something, you know? So now this seasons give us the possibility to do that, which is great. So yes, let's take advantage of that.
Yeah, and I will also just add, because you brought it up a little bit ago, about feeling guilty about how we do our studying, like the class you took where you were studying the drama. And it's also, I think it's also important to talk about that, because I think we often get caught up in the studying, that we forget that the goal of learning these languages is to use them in some way. And so the moment you start to use the language, even in tiny, you know, moments here and there, and when you're still learning from that, it's studying. Like one of the things, and Anna, we've talked about this a bit, video games. You know, like I love playing video games in other languages. And that's one of the things that when I first started to actively do that, I was like, technically I'm studying, but also like I felt like I had to justify it. And now I'm like, no, I play video games in other languages, and I'm learning like garden words that I never use in my daily life. You know? But
that's also right. It doesn't matter if it's gonna be useful or not. If you have an interest in it and you feel like you just want to know what the word mean, maybe, or like, you know, it's just something that is fun for you, then it's useful. Like whatever, you learn it, you know. It doesn't have something that has monetary value or like relationship wise value that you can spend somehow, because we are all traumatized by capitalism. If you like it and it makes you feel happy, do it. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very hard to play a whole story-based video game in a language that you don't know that well yet.
Oh yeah.
It's a very hard thing to do because it's not a passive thing. You need to actively do things. So I get you. So try to choose a video game that is not maybe fast-paced, where you can like kind of pause or like wait and maybe translate something if you don't understand what it means, you know. But story-based can be a little harsh depending on your level. So try to ease into it. One thing that I do in that case is I watch gameplays in the language before, like on YouTube. So I get a little bit more familiar with some vocabulary because they also say it, maybe, right?
Yeah.
And then later I will play the game.
Absolutely. And the other thing that I would recommend too is if it's a game that has like a lot of replay value, like you've played it before in your native language, play it again, but change the language, because now you already know how the game works. I'm thinking about all the games where it's like, you know, new world that you've created, and like I play a lot of like build your town, build your city sort of games. So you can play that endlessly. You know, it's always going to be new.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you just change the language.
Yes, I agree 100%. Yes, Stardew Valley is a good choice because you can kind of pause every time somebody says something. You can translate. It doesn't like pressure you to be fast or anything. Yeah. So it's very good. There's a lot of writing as well. Yes, most games don't have my natives already learning. Yeah, exactly. Maku, I get it. It's true, it's true. Yeah, you're forced to learn it in a different language. So that's a little bit harsh, but it can be a very, very good exercise if you enjoy the game. All right, we're getting very close to the end of the stream. So bront'e, what do you say? We're gonna ask you to do something. Haha.
Oh yes.
Yes.
So the second part of accountability right now is everyone in the chat. You need to share what is the one thing that you're going to achieve, or one thing you're going to be able to do in the next 90 days in this quarter. What is your milestone?
Let's call it in spring. What do you want
in spring?
In spring. The season of flowers and the if you're in the southern hemisphere, in autumn it's going to be like the season of coziness and getting ready for winter, but for us European and Northern Americans and Northern Asians, is a season of renewal, of everything getting born. So what is one thing?
Actually, I see Marco in the chat. Oh no, homework.
No, not homework. Is here work. So try to think. We'll give you like a couple minutes, but start thinking about what is one thing that you want to be able to do by the end of spring.
So a book that you've had on your shelf forever, a drama that you've had on your list, a friend that you've been like, I know I can talk with them, but I don't feel ready yet.
Yep, exactly. Yes, I already have an answer, but I'm gonna wait a little bit more. And please do it now, because I want you to like do the thing, starting because otherwise if you're like, oh yeah, I will think about it, maybe you don't. So start thinking about it now. And I have an answer already if you...
Yeah, I have mine.
Yes. I really want to finish a book. You talked about a book. I have this book that I read only when I'm on the train in Japanese. So I'm more or less like, let's call it a little bit less than 1/4 now. So by the end of spring, I want to be able to say, I read my first book in Japanese. So that's gonna be my spring new thing.
Yeah.
That
For
thing.
me,
Yes.
I mean, I have lower on my list are some books too. I have like my milestone books for other languages, but the big ones are, because I started Italian and German, I'm like, by the end of this quarter, I'm gonna be able to talk to Anna in Italian a little bit. That's been my secret thing. I've been very excited. I'm like learning all these different words, and every time I learn, I'm like, and then I get to show Anna, and I get to talk. And I have a friend who speaks, like, his native language is German, and I'm like, then I go get to talk to him about all the things. So that's my milestone.
Evil thought of being like, you don't know, but I will be like, one day I will be like fluent Italian. Like,
yep, so I'm like,
and scary.
In 3 months, I'm gonna have all my sentences prepared. And it's
Yeah, that's great. A lot of people here in the chat are learning Italian, so that's very exciting. Also, yes, so we're gonna have a small portion of Polyglots Talk at one point where we just speak Italian. For everybody, yes. Let's see. So Korea says, fix my sleep schedule, which is wonderful. We're talking about the base, fixing base. Yeah, no, of course, I also want to fix my eating schedule in that case. But that is wonderful to have, to focus on that, and then maybe build something on top. Axel says, I want to read a children's book and actually know what it's about.
Yeah,
I love it. You're not like and understand every single word. You're like, I understand what it's about, more or less, helping myself with the images, you know.
yeah.
Maybe I love it. Let's see. What do we have? Joanna Chan says, do more movie, series, books immersion both in French and English. Wonderful. We are watching Game of Thrones on my server, bront'e, with Sini-chan. Became a very big lover of the series through that. So
Nice.
I'm very happy. Yes, it's not the easiest English, to be honest, because it's that medieval, but it is great practice because of the accent. It's not American like everything else, so it makes you think. All right, then we got Eloharu, by the way. We got Maku saying, I probably want to get over with my katakana, so finish my katakana. Mandala said, I got stuck because I'm not good with it as with hiragana. I think it's a very good goal, and if you need help with katakana, yes, a lot of people know Japanese on the server, so feel free to ask. No problem in asking, baby. Feel free. Let's see. Haru says, doing my solo travel successfully. So exciting. Fighting that anxiety.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, solo traveling is so... it gives you so much anxiety before you go. But then when you're there, it's the best thing ever. At least in my opinion. So, yes. I'm also going to meet with Haru in Germany. You know, bront'e.
Nice.
Haru's from Australia. So we won't have like many occasions to meet. So I'm very excited. Yeah, very excited. In June, we want to hear it, bront'e. Yes.
Yes.
Or July. Exactly.
I'm working on it. I'm like actively, my focus is sentences, and I've been every day. I'm doing like a 2-week sprint right now, and then I'm going to slow down. So yes, you will hear it.
Yes. Italian mention. Let's go. Yes.
Absolutely. I can already say my favorite word so far in Italian is ice. I don't know why saying ghiaccio is just so fun.
It's wonderful. And also you said it's not easy to pronounce it well when you're reading it, I feel like, because it has those weird pronunciation. There's an H or no H, like the way you pronounce the letters. It's a little tricky for English speakers, so you pronounce it correctly. Good job.
Thank you. I'm just literally going around my house going, ghiaccio, ghiaccio, ghiaccio.
You want to know an even better word, by the way? The word for glacier is ghiacciaio. It's even more ghiacciaio.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, you know now.
Yes, now I know. Oh, now I have 2 words to say around my
yes. Very useful, but it's very funny to say. Watching it in Italian first is helping so much of that aspect. Yeah, Joanna is watching Game of Thrones in Italian by herself, and then we're watching it together in English after that. So very good studying. Let's go, Keen.
Nice.
All right, I heard Italian menken. What does that mean? No, mentioned. You know, when you do like in the reels on Instagram, sometimes when you talk about a language specifically, there are like so many messages of like, Italian mentioned, and all the Italian emojis, or any other language, to be fair. But it's like pride, yes. Anyways, we really need to end the stream, not because we want to go away, but because we both need to work.
Yes.
I need to teach. bront'e has to do her job, so it's very sad. But we're gonna be in the server as always on Discord. So if you haven't already, please join. join and feel free to ask any question if you need, of course.
Absolutely.
Yes. When you want to order something in Italy, you can say ghiaccio if you want it bront'e, because in Italy they don't put ice in your drink unless you ask for it.
Yeah,
And
so I can say
so now you
caffè
can.
con ghiaccio.
Perfetto.
That is what Lingo Dear taught me.
Yes. Amazing. All right, guys. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you again, bront'e, for the wonderful company and insight and tips on quarterly goals. And
love being here.
yes, stay tuned for next month's Polyglots Talk, where the topic will be announced. So yes, check our socials for that. And we'll see you soon. Bye bye, people.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao. Have a nice day. Ciao, ciao, ciao.